Andrew McGahon for SevereMMA here in SBG, standing alongside the notorious Conor McGregor. A few hours.
Nice suit, brother,
Thank you very much. Years I've been waiting for that.
Good. You got me this time, yeah.
Yeah,
Me this time.
first time in my life I'm better dressed. Although no shoes yet. I promise you in Vegas, you're going to be blown away by the shoes.
Good man.
Well, first things first, how are you? We're in a little bit of a better setting than our last interview. And first things first, thank you very much for that. Airport. Coming straight through. Get that camera out of your bag. Get that. And I was like, the UFC were like, there's no interviews here now. There's no interviews. How's things been since then?
Things have been great. Come home. I've been training really hard here. I always get the best training at home here in Straight Blast Gym, so I feel good. This is our last session now. We got positional in tonight. I must have done about close to 50 rounds in the last 4 days, so I've really pushed it now. I fly to Los Angeles early hours of the morning, enjoy that beach air for 2 weeks, handle the media obligations as always, handle the weight cut as always, and then hit Las Vegas and prepare to unify my belt.
When I found out you were going to Las Vegas, I instantly thought back to the interviews or to LA. You've spoke about it before. It's like you're obsessed with the ocean, movement and the ocean. You love being there. You love the air. What is it exactly?
I don't know. I've been fascinated about air a lot lately. Air and the canvas. I know that there's like, it plays a big part. You know, you spend a long time in Las Vegas. You know that air is dry out there. There's not many animals sustaining life out there. There's reptiles, and that's the type of animals that survive out that way. So, and then you go to a place like LA where you're at the beach and the air just gives you a new lease of life. And then you come back here where the air is completely fresh. So I don't know. I've appreciated the air in places a lot more lately. So it makes perfect sense. There's media obligations to do in Los Angeles. You've got to do the Jimmy Kimmel show. Got to do all these.
Kimmel, that's pretty big.
I have no idea, Andrew. I don't watch none of that shit, you know what I mean? But I just get it done. They ask me to do it, I show up and I do it, and I blow it out the water every damn time. So that's that. I'll go there, spend maybe 10 days, 10, 12 days, something like that in Los Angeles, get a little bit of a tan, I'm due a bit of vitamin D, and then head to Las Vegas and prepare to fight, bring the weight down, prepare to fight.
There was a little bit of worry maybe about coming back to Ireland, like your star has risen so much in the last year. What's it been like? Has it been like, I can't walk 10 metres down the street without being stopped? Was your training affected anyway? You seemed after the whole thing, the tour around Ireland, that was it. Time to get into seclusion, time to get into training camp.
Yeah, definitely. Before I came home, I was like, it's going to be heavy now. You know, I haven't been home in 3 fights. I haven't been home since the documentary aired. I haven't been home since so much happened. So there was a lot of thought in my head, like, this is going to be a bit too much. But when I got here and when I walked in these doors in the gym and saw everybody again, it was like, what was I thinking? This is my home. I'm home now. So that was quickly brushed to the side, and I got back to training. So I love being home.
And I know that you say your star has risen, and maybe in some cases there's instances that you would not know how much. I saw a topic on the internet a couple of weeks ago on Reddit. This guy from the north of Ireland, he said he was very close to committing suicide, and seeing all the stuff that you have done give him hope in his life for what he could maybe achieve one time. His dad was sick, his mum was sick. There was a big story to it, and I was reading that thinking, this is amazing. Like, I know you've spoke about suicide prevention before, and it's a big thing to you, but to know that someone has stopped doing something like that because it's the pride in what you bring Ireland just overwhelmed them. I
mean, that's some heavy stuff right there. You know, there's a couple of people in the gym that are a similar situation come up and say things like this to me. So I don't know. That's heavy for me as well. You know, I'm just trying to live my life, trying to train and trying to just be who I am and not trying to think of things like that. But if what I do and what I'm doing for the country and what I'm doing for people, if that motivates them to go and succeed in their life, then I'm very proud of that. But I try and focus on the people around me and keep my eye on the prize.
The episode that just aired last week of The Ultimate Fighter, we found out that you wanted Uriah in Dublin. Now, you had spoke about it before, but we saw the intercation with Dana and Faber, and it seems like he really wanted that fight as well. From going through the show, I know you said you were 2 days away from walking away from it, you weren't going to do it. Looking at it now that it's all finished, something you enjoyed, something that was okay?
I mean, 2 days before it, I had enough. I was out here, I'm coming home now. This fucking Vegas desert air, I've had enough of it. 4 months in that desert air is very, very intense on the body for someone like me, for someone like us who come from where we come from. I think people underestimate the air and what we have over here. It's only when you travel to a place like Las Vegas or places abroad that you really can appreciate home. So that's what I was feeling. I was missing home. I'd done what I said I would do. I'd conquered adversity. I'd brought the numbers. I'd done my job. So it was time to go home. But they wanted me to do the Ultimate Fighter. And I got it done. Artem was in there, so I wanted to get it done for Artem and help him succeed in there. And overall, looking back, it was a phenomenal experience. I'm grateful for the experience. That's what I told myself over there. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I took it with both hands. I approached it with a positive mindset, and positive things happened, and the show turned out to be phenomenal. A lot of fun. Keep watching. The results are phenomenal also for myself and my team.
If we're looking at numbers, and this is something that I'm really interested in because you've only started mentioning it recently in the media. I control the numbers, I'm interested in the numbers, but go back to your first and second fight. You're asking us, do you know what they did on BT Sport or Setanta Sport and the first fight that was shown on 3? It seems like it's something that you've been interested in and worried, or not worried, but it benefits you to know about them.
Keep your, it's numbers and sequences. That's my life right there. If it's not a number, it's a sequence. If it's not a sequence, it's a number. So I'm either counting something or defending something. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's just my life, and it has been that way for a long time. I'm fascinated by the numbers, and I'm fascinated by the sequences.
Yeah. A couple of quick things about this fight, though. Obviously, the pull out with Aldo before. I know you're a man that doesn't get emotionally invested in another body type. Is he going to make it?
We'll see. I'll be there. I have made it. I have put myself through an intense training camp. I'm going to go and enjoy that beach weather, get that vitamin D, and make it the fight. Now, who cares if he's there or not? I'll be there. I hope he's there, but I don't know.
I think Irish fans might be a little bit annoyed with where the UFC always put your fights. Last year we had it just after Christmas. This time we had it in the middle of the summer. Now we have it 2 weeks before Christmas. And even now it looks like there's going to be a record amount of Irish people coming over for it.
Yeah, I'm forever grateful for the people coming out supporting me. I said it to them, I was a little bit too early. I only just fought in July. I only just saved everybody's ass by showing up for that fight in July. I could have easily walked and cost the company 20 million in production, 7 million in gate, 40 million in pay-per-view. I could have cost them a lot. And then people that travelled and saved their money, I could have just not showed up there, but I didn't. I showed up, I fought, I blew it out the water, and then they booked me again for December. Initially I said it's a little bit too soon, not for me particularly, because I'll go every week. If you cut out all the bullshit, if you cut out all the media obligation, I'd show up and go through the whole roster inside 4 months. I'd whoop every single one of them inside that roster inside 4 months. If you cut out all the other shit, if you just let me show up on weigh-in day and show up on fight night and fight. But there's a lot more to it. But I said to them it was a little bit too early for Aldo because his ribs and his body, and I just thought he's going to rush into camp again and it could hamper it and he could pull out injured once again. But we are getting close now. All signs point that he will show up. I hope he does. Let's see.
Would you believe the credit union said the same thing to me?
Well,
this is a little soon for you coming back for another loan. Vegas 3 months after the other.
Yeah. I mean,
we got it though. It's all right.
Yeah,
they're sound. They're cool. Like.
That's good. I mean, it's been a crazy couple of years, and this year has been phenomenal for me, for the Irish, for Irish fighting in general. So I'm gonna bring it home with a bang.
Okay, genuinely 2 things before we go. Crow Park next year. Dana's even talking about it. It really seems like it's actually going to happen. For you, each fight has been a milestone and a pinnacle. Let's say Crow Park happens next year. You sell it out, 80-something thousand people there. Then what? Again, the week after?
You know, I'll believe in Crow Park when I see it.
Yeah.
I feel what I done in Las Vegas in July and what the Irish people done. We brought $200 million in revenue over to that city in July. It helped seal the deal on the new MGM deal for the UFC. So I'll believe Crow Park when I see it. I know they say it and say this and say that, but I feel I might have been locked into MGM for a while.
Yeah.
I feel the MGM wanted me every time because of what we bring. So I'll believe Crow Park when I see it.
This is probably the most interesting that I've been interviewing you. There's something different about you. It seems like you're ready to go tomorrow. It's like this is the culmination of all the years of work, all of the cold nights. Is this going to happen? Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Even if it's just looking at the other guys in the gym here, this is proof. If you follow your dreams, if you go by your passion, it will reward you.
Yeah, 100%. I'm hungry right now. I'm prepared to kill this man and unify the belts, and then what will they have to say? We'll see what they have to say after Jose falls. Jose's the number 1 pound.
You still have to fight the Aikido black belt.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't care about any of that shit. We'll see what they have to say when Jose crumbles inside 1.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thanks.